Show you a few things about math. About math. Yeah, no dancing going on here unless you were just jamming out. I'm going to show you a few things about math. Congratulations. So here we go. This question was missed by quite a few people. So let's figure out why. When I looked at the results, I think part of it had to do with this right here. So make sure you notice it says except for the bottom, and this was big. Find the area to be painted in square inches. Inches. So probably the easiest thing to do to find it in square inches, or I don't want to say easiest, but one option for you guys is just go ahead and change all these measurements to inches. So feet to inches is just multiplying by 12. So this is actually 48 inches, and 1.5 times 12 is 18 inches, and then 2 times 12 would be 24 inches. So that's one option. Another option you could do is just keep everything in feet, square feet, and then to convert square feet, I'll write it again. 1 square foot, that's 1 foot by 1 foot. It's a square. 1 foot by 1 foot. Is that a perfect square? No. Do I care? No, because I could draw a perfect square using this right here. So, nope, that's not going to work either. We'll do this. There's your square. Boom. So, 1 square foot. 1 square foot. That means it's 1 foot by 1 foot. Well, how big is that? That's 12 inches by 12 inches, which that means 12 by 12 is 144 square inches. So that's your conversion right there. So if you leave everything in feet, you're going to find your final answer by dividing your square feet by 144. Or I'm sorry, multiplying by 144. You're going to multiply by 144 because 5 square feet, you do 5 times 144. So that being said, let's start doing some calculations. So let's start with the front right here. We'll do that. That's 48 inches by, how tall is that? 24. So 48 times 24, that is 1,152. But there's another one, 1,152. But we got to multiply by 2 for the other side. So times 2 equals 2,304. 2,304. So that's the front and then that other side. Now I'll switch up the color and we'll find this. Well, that's 1.5, or we said 18 inches by 24 inches. So 18 times 24, that gives you 432. So 18 times 24. But then there's another one on the other side, so we'll multiply that by 2. 18 times 24 is 432 times 2 gives you 864. So we got the front, the back, the two sides, and now all we need is the top, because we're not going to paint the bottom. So the top. How big is the top? 48 inches by 18 inches. So 48 times 18. And that gives you 864. So to find the total, we're going to add everything up. So 2,304 plus 864 plus another 864 gives us a final answer of 4,032 square inches, just like they asked. Okay, just like they asked. I'm guessing if you got your answer marked wrong, you left it in square feet. So let's convert this to square feet by dividing by 144. And I think some of you actually said 28 square feet. Like that was your number that you got. And that was great. You did everything right, but it specified square inches. So once again, make sure you're not only doing the calculations properly, but you are also paying attention to how they want their answer. That is all.